Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mattioli Arena in Leicester. It's another big week of qualifying on the World Snooker Tour. We've got 3 events to bring you this week. And the first is the new Shenzhen Open. This is the event that was the Xi'an Grand Prix. It's been relocated to Shenzhen. Final stages will be end of September, early October. But we've got 4 days of qualifying ahead of that, then 2 days of British Open qualifying, 2 days of English Open qualifying. So it really is a big week. We're still, of course, in July, but there's been quite a lot of snooker played already. We've had the China Open qualifying, the Wuhan Open qualifying, and of course the Championship League was played to a conclusion here last week, won by Jack Jones. So this match we're bringing you, it's 2 youngsters, Liam Pullen, 21 years of age, against Deng Haohui of China. He's 23. Of course, Liam Pullen is actually, even though he's a young guy, he's well established on the tour. We saw him make his crucible debut last season, and he actually got to the quarterfinals of last year's Xi'an Grand Prix. Now, this event this year not being played there, but even so, it's a tournament where he had some success last year. Beat John Higgins actually to qualify when it was the flat draw. And Deng, he's a new professional. He came through the Asia Oceania Q School, the first of 2 events there to book his tour card for the first time. He's also the reigning Asian amateur champion. One of 31 players from mainland China on the World Snooker Tour. There's another 3 from Hong Kong as well. So, an interesting one. Pullen, I guess, starts favourite, but we'll see. He's not had the best starts, really, to the season. He didn't qualify for the China or Wuhan Opens and didn't get out of his group at the Championship League. And although it's still early in the campaign, this really is a big week coming up, because by the end of it, various lower-ranked players will actually have played in 6 events. And, of course, if you're not getting through and qualifying in them, then it is a poor start to the season. So Liam Pullen will be looking to turn that around this week. And Deng, of course, it's all new to him, the first year of a 2-year card. So still finding his way. He didn't find much success either in the early events. Referee is Tatiana Waterston, and wherever you're watching around the world, it's a very good morning from Leicester, where the temperatures are not quite as high as they were at times during the Championship League. There were some days there where it really was hot in this arena, because it was really hot outside the arena. But you can see already the players have been allowed to remove their bow ties, because it is summer and it is warm. And I think if it gets warmer, they'll be allowed to take off the waistcoats as well. It's best of 9 frames. The winner will play Tom Ford, and then the winner of that match plays Tepchara Nu. Of course, the real big hitters are seeded through to the venue. As I say, this event will conclude in Shenzhen, end of September, early October. Shenzhen, the home of Zhao Xingtong. And it has staged a ranking event before, actually. The 2000 China Open was played at the Mission Hills Golf Resort in Shenzhen. Now, we were due to be bringing you the match between Jimmy White and Ian Burns, but Ian Burns, he had a back problem at the Championship League. He has withdrawn, so Jimmy White gets a walkover. He'll play Fang Zhengyi in round 2. So there are 7 matches ongoing in this session. We'll keep you across the scores. We've got Zhang Jun against the new Women's World Champion, Panchaya Chenoy. Ulian Boyko against Phil O'Kane. Oliver Sykes against Andrew Higginson. Jamie Clark against Sean O'Sullivan, Liam Graham against Craig Steadman, Ross Muir against Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon. Well, the first real mistake, but let's see what damage he's done. There's a red on certainly to right middle here. And one also to right corner with the black, pink and blue all available. It's a chance for Liam Pullen to get going this Sunday morning. Oh, hang on.
1.
Yeah, he's lost the cue ball there. Ah, well. That is annoying. And also, of course, he's now snookered in every colour.
Green ball.
Nominated green. could hit this. Oh, what a shot. Well, that's in part made up for not getting on the black. He'd rather be potting balls, but he's pulled out a terrific shot there. Giving Deng already something to think about. Just seemed a bit hard, that. Looking to sort of nestle into them, and in fact he's left a chance, and then Pullen almost almost sprinted to the table there to get on this red. So the good shot he played on the green has yielded a second chance, having of course not got on a colour off the first one. Yeah, so the tournament last year, as I say, beat John Higgins. Just different format. It was a flat draw, everyone in round one. This is a tiered draw this year. But he beat him 5-3 to qualify, and then in Jan itself he beat Michael Holt, whitewashed Noppen Senkarm, beat Aaron Hill eventually in the quarterfinals, lost to Daniel Wells. But it's the furthest he's been in a ranking event, and then of course at the end of the season made his Crucible debut, won 4 matches against real tough players to qualify for Sheffield. As with any match, you're just looking to settle down as early as you can. And as I say, this is his second chance to do that. He knows he needs results. It's still early in the season, but he's got to get something out of the week. Ideally, of course, qualify for all 3 tournaments, but certainly he needs to start getting matches under his belt, because he's 66 in the world rankings. And again, it's early in the season, but it's the top 64 who stay on at the end of season, so you don't want to be looking over your shoulder all year. You want to have a good run in a couple of tournaments, just ease the pressure of that ranking position. Well, he's kind of hoping for the best here. Little kiss.
14.
Well, the reaction suggests not on anything. Well, long rest, and may play the red to left corner as a shot nothing. Cue ball down to Bolt. Safety was the main thing there. But that's 2 chances, and he's still only on 15 points in the frame. He'll be a little annoyed. Be more annoyed now. What a great shot from Deng.
1.
So the safety from Pullen ultimately wasn't good enough. Now then, looks like the little roll up to the yellow. Liam Pullen, who's been in twice, is now in trouble here because the reds have all fanned out, so got to be so careful not to leave a pot on. I guess the 2 reds on the left-hand side, near the left cushion, if you could get to those and just sort of rest up to them, he might be okay. Otherwise, there's a lot of danger here. Well, he's had a look at the red below the pink. I guess feeling that those reds are sort of cutting one another off. To left corner. Well, I don't think he meant to hit that one. I think he meant to hit the one above it. And he's left this red to... Well, a couple of reds actually, left corner and left middle. Either way, Deng with a better chance now in amongst them. So as I say, he's 23 years of age, and of course we rather always expect the Chinese players to be sort of world beaters. It doesn't always work that way, of course, it takes time. But he's another young talent from that snooker powerhouse. I think it's significant that he won the Asian Championship. He beat the Indian player Pankaj Advani there in the final. He's very experienced. And then came through the Asia Oceania Q School at his first attempt.
7.
Yeah, the sort of well-known name he beat in that Q School was Amir Sarkosh from Iran, who was on the tour last couple of years. That was in the last round. I mean, while a little test of this early in the day. Well, it's worked out okay. He's potted it, and looks like he's certainly on a red to right middle. I've noticed, we saw him in the Championship League. Again, you sort of think young players are all going to be quick. He's not the quickest, actually, and there's nothing wrong with playing at your own tempo, but he doesn't rush. So he takes this one to right corner.
16.
Important thing is to find the pace that's right for you. So Liam Pullen was in twice, but broke down.
23.
Deng potted the long red, laid the snooker behind the yellow, and he's now looking to take full advantage.
Twenty-nine. 30.
First frame of the day has been won by Andrew Higginson against Oliver Sykes. Now this is actually in the pre-round one, 2 matches in the preliminary round to get into round 1. Higginson's won that one. Deng clearly feels this plant can't be missed. Well, maybe not quite so sure now. He's going to have to make it, clearly. Got a red to left middle if he doesn't fancy the plant. But again, he's not, this is what I'm saying. He's not rushing himself, but he's going to change his mind. He sort of realised the plant maybe wasn't quite as straightforward as he thought. So he's taking the one to middle. Oh, and he's missed it. Wow.
Deng Haohui, 37.
So that kind of unravelled a bit, unexpectedly. 23 points in the frame. Just a reminder, this is a best of 9 frame match, so there will be an interval after 4 frames. Well, of course, Deng thought this was a plant right behind it. Liam Pullen now looking at it, but of course he's much further away. Well, it was a strange shot by Deng because he obviously thought it was a plant, but he still left Pullen a chance at it, albeit from, as I say, further away. Still a terrific shot from Pullen, so third chance for him in this opening frame. Some work to do with the reds on the left-hand side of the table. Liam Pullen, a very enthusiastic young player, very hard-working, based at the Landywood Snooker Centre in the West Midlands, having played for a number of years at the Northern Snooker Centre in Leeds. Just turned 21 earlier this month.
Liam Pullen, 30.
Well, trying to hold the cue ball, but he's blocked the pocket. Zhang Zhen has won the opening frame against Panchaya Chenoy. She is the newly installed women's world champion. Sean O'Sullivan leads Jamie Clark 1-0 again. That's in the preliminary round. Really feels like the season is well and truly underway now. We've had our first winner, Jack Jones, at the Championship League, and a week tomorrow it's the start of the Shanghai Masters, of course, the first really big tournament for the established players, a huge invitation event out in Shanghai. This little safety jewel looks key now to this frame as the Reds start to fan out into open play. Deng 10 points in front. Well, he's left a tempter. Deng just coming round to look at the potting angle of this red to left middle. And he's going to take it on. Not to be, though. But at least for Deng's perspective, he's not left a pot on. Quite a tense start, this. Both had chances already. There's a lot of cover down the end, isn't there? This yellow, brown, pink and green. But he's not actually found it. Is Pullen going to find it? Not quite. Let's move the black, so that pocket is free now. This looks good from Pullen. Looks like he's covered all three reds. Well, a real standoff continues here in this frame. That's not the best, though. Now Pullen may take this red on to left corner. Pull the cue ball back for a little bit of safety. Nice shot. Still, though, got to deal with these two reds on the left-hand side. It's a thin pot, this.
6.
Well, that's nicely done. It's a very positive shot. So can he pot this black, get up on the last red, and then it's a serious chance to take the opening frame. That'll do nicely. So Liam Pullen had a few chances early on in the frame. Didn't come to
14.
anything, but he won the safety standoff, and now he's ahead in the frame and looking to put it on the scoreboard. Oh dear.
Liam Pullen, 15.
That was such a good chance. He's best of the frame so far. Going around the houses to try and land on this green. Well, he caught the knuckle of the middle pocket, which actually helped. Had he not done that, he would have been, I think, near the green anyway. But this green's not in yet. Pullen missed it to the opposite corner, of course. Yeah, it wasn't straightforward, that.
Haohui, 2.
Now then, he's covered it because he's held his hand up. But Pullen, I'm sure, although he doesn't look happy, he's pleased that he missed it. Because that would have been frame over, I'm sure. So he needs to try and get this safe. Which he's achieved. Well, a dramatic opening frame, nearly half an hour already, and still firmly in the balance. They both missed a green. Well, that looks like a snooker. So this is a little bit of trouble for Pullen. Again, it's not just about hitting the green, it's about getting it safe. Now he's going to swerve. Very nicely played, nicely controlled. Sort of feels like a deciding frame, this, more than the first frame. Well, can he get through to the green? Looks like it. Oh, got close to it. Well, it's ended up a snooker. So now it's Deng looking to get the green safe from out of a snooker. "32 minutes this frame." Pullen was hoping to get the cue in behind the black, not quite achieved. He's achieved it this time, though. What a terrific shot from Liam Pullen. People have remarked before the likeness to Mark Selby, who I think would have been very proud of that one. Coming off a couple of cushions. Well, he's caught the knuckle.
Foul. Miss. Liam Pullen 4.
Surely be going again. Tatiana Wollaston, one of our finest referees in charge here. Of course, lives in Leicester with her husband Ben, who'll be in action later on in the qualifiers.
Liam.
Made the slight adjustment, but this green, well, it's available to middle, but it's going to be very hard to get on the brown from there. Yeah, just looking to roll it in, but the green stays out and the frame continues. "35 minutes now, this opening frame." That song, Easy Like Sunday Morning, well, this is the opposite. This is hard going for these two. Well, finally the green goes in, so the battle now on the brown.
Deng Haohui 3.
Ah, he got so close to that. That would have been a frame winner. He was on the blue. But Deng also has a chance at the brown. He will need brown, blue and pink here to win this opening frame. And he has potted it. Just checks the scores nicely on the blue. So 37-minute frame looks set to go to Deng Haohui.
9.
My word, it's been hard fought stuff. And even here he needs the rest. You're still expecting to pot this pink. Both players had a lot of chances. But Deng
15.
delighted to see the pink go in. And he does win the opening frame. Remember, it's best of 9 here in the Shenzhen Open qualifiers. Well, he's taken a little break between frames as we can now just go through the other matches. Now, as I say, Jimmy White has had a walkover because Ian Burns, he had a back issue at the Championship League and he has pulled out. Hopefully he'll be able to play in the other qualifiers this week. Otherwise, that's a big portion of his season already gone. Jimmy White will play Fang Zhengyi in round 2. Ulian Boyko has won the opening frame against Phil O'Kane. Craig Steadman has taken the first frame against Liam Graham. Ross Muir and Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon still in their first frame. Zhang Jun won the opener against Panchaya Chanoy, but Chanoy is in front in the second there. And then these two matches in the prelim round, so it's a round before this actually. Andrew Higginson 2-0 up on Oliver Sykes. Nice break there, 69 from Higginson. And the other match, Sean O'Sullivan 1-0 up on Jamie Clark. Just a reminder, we've got 5 days of qualifying for this Shenzhen Open. In fact, that's not true. We've got 4 days of qualifying, it ends Wednesday. 2 days of the British Open, that's Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, 2 days of qualifying for the English Open. Well, Liam Pullen, he had a few early chances and then he had a few late ones, but in the end, he took on that long brown. He got very close to it, didn't pot it, and that was that. He's building up to quite a big charity endeavour actually at the end of the season. So literally when the World Championship campaign is over in April, he and Chris Wakelin are going to be undertaking a charity bike ride around the UK. And the twist is they're going to be visiting all the snooker venues that currently host events in the UK. So they'll be starting at the Crucible, they'll be going to the Barbican in York, they'll be going to the Telford International Centre, Manchester Central, Ali Pali in London, Llandudno, Edinburgh, and anywhere else. I guess the Mattioli here in Leicester will be one of them as well. So that's going to be something to look forward to at the end of the season. I know Chris is trying to get other players to take part as well, but we wish them well with that. Of course, there'll be plenty more details nearer the time, how people can donate. But yeah, it's maybe it's a good incentive for for not getting knocked out in the World Championship. So we're just waiting for Deng. I can point you towards the matches we'll be showing later on table 1, 2:30 local time. Michal Shabarchek, the young Pole, just 15 of course, against Gong Chengzi of China. 7 o'clock, Dylan Emery, who had a really good Championship League. He got to the last day of that just last week. And he's up against the twice Women's World Champion, Baiyu Lu. And of course, as the event continues, some of the bigger names will be taking part as well. Tomorrow, for example, we've got Stan Moody, we've got Michael Holt, Matthew Stevens, Luca Brissell, Ryan Day, Aaron Hill. Tuesday, the likes of Anthony McGill, Matt Selt, Jackson Page, Oliver Lyons, Noppen Senkam, Ben Wollaston, Ergo Chang, Chang Bing Yu, and so on and so on, until we get to the final day where we've got the likes of Stuart Bingham, Dave Gilbert, of course, just runner-up to Jack Jones in the Championship League. Jones will be in action as well. Jack Lazowski, Zhang Anda, Elliot Slesser, Ali Carter, Gary Wilson, Hussein Vafai, Steve Maguire, all the players you'd expect to see in that 17 to 32 bracket, and that is to get to the final stages. That's the last 64. The matches involving the top 16 in the last 64 are held over to Shenzhen itself.
Second frame.
Anyway, Deng returns. Ready for frame 2. If you are just joining us, good morning from Leicester, where we're watching the qualifiers for the Shenzhen Open. It wasn't the best break-off. He got away with it, though. Just look where the cue ball's finished off that break-off shot. Came in and out of ball. Well, obviously wanted to avoid the brown, so Liam Pullen lining this red up. Similar actually to the brown he took on and just failed to pot at the end of that last frame. Yeah, similar result. Deng overcuts the red. Top prize in this event, 177,000. It is considered to be a continuation of the Zhang Grand Prix, so Mark Williams will be the top seed. Of course, he became the oldest ranking event winner in Xi'an last year, beat Sean Murphy in quite a one-sided final, actually, at the age of 50. So he took Ray Reardon, his great friend and compatriot's record that had stood for 43 years, his oldest ranking event winner. Well, again, Deng just getting away with that slight safety error, catching the blue, but no real damage done. Leicester's own Tom Ford awaits in round 2. Tekcharan Nu in round 3, the World Open champion out in Yushan, of course, last season. Well, again, he's left nothing there. Chai Chinoy has levelled up with Zhang Jun, one apiece. Oh, this looks good. Not quite in behind the brown. Craig Steadman 2-0 over Liam Graham. 71 break from Steadman in frame 2. Really is an important week, this, because, of course, we've had 3 ranking events. Well, they haven't been completed. One has, the Championship League. 2 others, qualifiers, China Open and Wern Open. So if you've been knocked out of those 2, as both of these have, and didn't get out the group at the Championship League, you know, you're looking now to really start your season properly. British and English Opens to follow. But these Chinese events, they carry really big prize money. And of course, in the ranking system, the money translates to ranking points. Well, if you can pop this and get the blue back on its spot, you might be in business. So it starts with a good pot. That pocket is not being friendly to Liam Pullen. He's missed 3 into it now from longer range, from distance. And it's a bit of a frustrating start for him. It was a long opening frame. But, of course, Deng, in the end, wasn't that bothered. He won it. Pullen had chances, but yet to really get scoring. Ross Muir has won quite a lengthy 40-minute opening frame against Thailand's Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon. So, nothing potted yet. We've been going 9 minutes in this frame. See, Deng was going to take that red on to left corner, but the green and brown are just hampering him a little. Well, he's gone back to this red. Oh, wow. What a fluke. What a fluke. Went in at the speed of sound, that. Just flew into that green pocket, and he is on the pink. Well, let's see where that fluke leads. It's got him in.
7.
Black on the cushion, but the pink on the black spot.
8. 14. 15.
Well, it certainly helped to get the blue back on its spot in the middle of the table there, particularly with the black out of action. Just overrun this a bit. That is not where he wanted the white.
20.
This is the thing with flukes, you know, that you don't know instantaneously how significant they're going to be. It might be the only ball that goes in. It might lead to a frame-winning break. I guess the most famous was Cliff Thorburns back in 1983, the first red of the first World Championship maximum. So that was a very significant fluke. Other times, they don't lead to much. He's just lost ideal position here, so looking to recover with this red, which he's done nicely.
21. 23.
Well, this is a little tester. Yeah, it's not easy at all with all the long stuff as well and the rest. Yeah, it was a tough red to play for that.
Deng Haohui, 23.
So the initial fluke in the end didn't lead to that many. Well, he struggled into that pocket, but not this time. So Pullen has had a few false starts in this match, but this could be the sort of proper start of things for him. As I say, on another day, that fluke could have cost him the frame, but he's only 20 odd behind as he comes to the table. If you're wondering why the players aren't wearing bow ties, they have been told they can take them off because of the fact it's the summer, it's hot. It's not quite as hot as it was during the Championship League, but it's still pretty warm. And of course, it's not just the temperature outside. Inside, there's the under-table heating, there's all the lights and the equipment. It just makes it a bit hotter in general. Well, he went into the reds there, but he could have finished better, I think. So, just a safety.
Pullen 6.
Well, it's early days, but Liam Pullen not quite capitalising on chances. Deng's safety has not been as good as he would like, and he has offered a few openings, but they're not being taken. But it's just become, in general, a little bit ragged. I mean, let's be honest, the first frame wasn't great either. No point pretending otherwise. Can either player just grab this match by the scruff of the neck?
One. Seven. Eight.
Well, that little nod of the head, I think, tells us he's dead straight on the blue, which means he can't do much with the cue ball. Very enthusiastic character, Liam Pullen. He came into our commentary box actually for a day at the Championship League, and
13.
was good company there, and really you could see that genuine passion he has for snooker.
14.
And of course he's had a taste of the big time now. He's played at the Crucible, lost out to Chris Wakelin there, but held his own certainly in the early stages. It was quite close until Chris pulled away. He seemed to really enjoy the occasion as well. He made sure to acknowledge the crowd on his entrance and soak up the fact he was at the Crucible. It's the one venue, of course, everybody in the game would love to play. He made a century there as well. So now he's trying to build on that momentum going forward this season. Number one priority has to be, of course, to secure his tour card. But then try and build on, the quarter-final he was in last year and start to make his way in the sport.
21.
His great junior rival was Stan Moody, who, of course, we'll be seeing in the next round. And, of course, Moody also played at the Crucible. They're friendlier, I think, now than they were when they were kids, when it was very much a proper rivalry. Of course, now they've got a lot of other rivals to deal with on the World Snooker Tour. Well, he's caught the blue, but it's not too bad if he can just deliver a nice straight piece of cueing. Then the break continues. Sort of Zhang Zhun there on table 2, taking an
28.
interest. It was a kick, I think. He's just making his feelings known about it. Tatiana Wollaston cleaning the cue ball. I mean, touch wood, we don't get that many kicks these days, but you get the odd one. Most players use this finished short town, which has all but eradicated them. And that's why when you look at the table, you know, you scroll back even 5 years. By now, even though it's only frame 2, there'd be chalk marks all over the table, and you know, it would look a bit untidy, but it's pretty pristine. Cued that one very nicely.
30.
Well, he felt it was another kick. Do you wonder if the weather maybe could be the reason why you might see a few bad contacts? It's quite muggy. Oh dear.
Yeah, Pullen. 31.
Well, his highest break of the match, 31, but he wanted a lot more, clearly.
One. Six. Seven. Twelve.
Green and brown clearly not in great spots there. They've been tied up the whole frame.
13.
I'm not sure from this vantage point whether the green actually does go past the brown into that corner pocket. That obviously would make a difference.
18. Ninety.
Well, he's content. It seems to leave him this yellow, leave himself this yellow from distance.
24. 26.
Well, he played the big shot to get green and brown out, and he's been a bit unfortunate, you've got to say. I know he had the fluke earlier. These things balance themselves out, but, I mean, look at that result. He'd just be able to clip the green here. Well, we had a similar scenario in the last frame. It came down to green and then brown, and so we're a long time on the green itself. In this frame, Deng leads Pullen by 12 points. This cue ball is very close.
Well,
It's in.
Deng Haohui 4.
He's not left the green on, but it gives Deng control of the table here. Leo Scullion there in the front row. Of course, he's retired as a referee now, but he's an assessor, so he'll be watching some of the other referees. Well, he played the snooker. He played it well, actually, but the green's gone in. So that's a second fluke in the frame. Apologised for the fluke, but he didn't really want the green in. He's left himself quite nasty with the spider over the pink here on this brown.
Deng Haohui 3.
Of course, Pullen needs all 4 balls. Deng, as it stands, just needs the brown. This is pacey. Well, he's handed Pullen an opening, but as I say, he's going to need all 4 balls here. Pink and black, not great where they are, but at least it's a chance. Pullen sort of advising Deng to take his seat.
No.
Not quite on the pink. Deng just needing the pink, Pullen needing pink and black. So it's another tense frame. The first was best part of 40 minutes.
Liam Pullen 9.
Doesn't really matter what sort of frame it's been when you get down to the last couple of balls. It's always exciting. Be a bit of a body blow if Pullen lost this one as well, though, because it's been a bit of a slog this morning and he would have got nothing out of it. Where's it going to finish? Very nearly got lucky there, but not to be. So Deng, as I say, just needing the pink. And in it goes. So two very tight frames, and they've both gone to China's Deng Haohui, who leads here by 2 frames to 0 in this best of 9 frame encounter. This time it's Liam Pullen who leaves the arena between frames, so we can take you around the other tables. Ulian Boyko going well, the Ukrainian, is about to go 3-0 up on Phil O'Kane, who of course came through the Q school at the 14th time of asking this year. Craig Steadman 2-0 over Liam Graham. Ross Muir still 1-0 up on Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon. Zhang Jun and Panchayat Chenoy still 1-1. And in the 2 matches in the preliminary round, so the round before this, Andrew Higginson about to go to the interval 3-1 up on Oliver Sykes. Sykes won the 3rd frame there. And Sean O'Sullivan's 2-1 up on Jamie Clark. Remember, this is day 1 of 4 in qualifying for the Shenzhen Open. Just to reiterate, it's taken the place of the Zhang Grand Prix. It's the same format, same prize money. Mark Williams will be the top seed, having won it last year, but it's being played in Shenzhen. And the final stage is end of September, early October. To come later on table 1, Michal Shabarchek and Gong Chengzi. That's at 2:30 local time. 7 o'clock, Dylan Emery against the twice women's world champion, Bai Yu Lu. Well, 2 lengthy frames, and as I say, Liam Pullen, despite all the battling he did, got nothing out of them. It's 2-0 for Deng, and will continue when Pullen returns. Well, we're still waiting for Liam Pullen to return. I think the point to make about toilet breaks is it's not how many there are, it's actually how close the toilet is in these venues. And here, the players have to go upstairs and come back down again, so it does take a while. Just to confirm, it is 3-0 now. 3-0 now, William Boyko over Phil O'Kane. And it is 3-0 Craig Steadman over Liam Graham. First match to the interval, Higginson 3-1 over Sykes. So, Liam Pullen returning and hoping clearly for a bit of a change of fortunes, because he slogged through 2 pretty lengthy frames and got nothing for it.
There is a long one here.
Yeah, Tatiana Wollaston, the referee, has retrieved the long spider. He's got the extension on his cue. Then you have to get everything out of the way. That's the other thing. Which he's done. He's played the shot well.
Foul. Miss. Deng Haohui 4. Miss.
It's going back. The slight adjustment has been made. Panchaya Chenoy, the women's world champion, has gone 2-1 up on Zhang Jun, having lost the opening frame. So, strong start from her. She's still finding her feet very much on the World Snooker Tour. I don't think when she entered the Women's World Championship, she was expecting a couple of months later to be playing in all the world ranking events. Oh dear, did not want to catch that black. He's not left a sitter, but he could have put pressure on the return safety from Deng there had he avoided the black, got the cue ball back down to Bolt. So it's a bit of a tough start this for Liam Pullen. And what will frustrate him, I'm sure, is he did have chances right at the start of the first frame, had a couple, just couldn't get going. He had some in frame 2 as well. Little bits of luck maybe have gone against him, but it's not about that really. It's about the fact he just couldn't be more clinical when he was in amongst them. Well, he seemed to be playing the plant there as a shot to nothing, trying to screw the cue ball back down to Bolt, but he didn't reach the Bolt line. So one good pot from Pullen here, and it could be the start of something for him in this match. This is a big shot for Liam Pullen. And in it goes. But he needs to stay in. I think in general his scoring has come on terrifically, actually. He's had, in his career, 33 centuries, but 20 of those were last season. He's already had 4 this season, all in the China Open, even though he didn't qualify. The 2 matches he played, he made 2 in each of them. Of course, he made a maximum last season in the UK Championship qualifiers, came close to another one in the World Championship. As we know, that would have earned him the bonus of 147,000. So, in general, his scoring is improving. He needs to produce something here, I think. Not just for the scoreline, but for his own sort of peace of mind in this match, because it's been tough going so far.
8. $14. 15. 21. 22.
Of course, Pullen, after his initial 2 years on tour, did drop off, but came back on through Q School. That was the start of last season. So again, it's about, at the end of this season, ensuring that he's not in that position again. 66 on the current rankings, but he'll have no points coming off. So in reality, he's a bit higher than that, really. But you only ultimately go up if you're winning matches, particularly in these big tournaments that carry the most prize money. And so this Shenzhen Open is an important one when you haven't qualified yet for the initial.
$35. 36.
Yeah, if you for the players as Liam, but lot obviously of snooker. So that's a guide, but you know he's not in any way guaranteed yet to keep his tour card. Well, I think he's overscrewed that for the intended red.
42.
That will really annoy him. That was a chance to make something substantial. So just have to take his medicine, 42 and a 38-point lead. But at least he did just accept it there. He didn't sort of, there were no theatrics and woe is me stuff. He just got on with it, played a good safety, cue ball to the baulk cushion. Just avoided the double kiss by millimetres. Well, the red's pot. But he's taking. Well.
Deng Haohui, 4.
Julian Boyko, 4-0 over Phil O'Kane at their interval. So that breaks of 68 and 53. Rossmuir 2-0 up on Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon. Won the second frame there, Muir on the black. Well, he's played this well. It's a really good safety. Makes such a difference staying out and just wobbling in the jaws. It makes cueing tougher for Pullen than had the cue ball obviously been in the D. Just to remind you, if you were tuning in expecting to see Jimmy White playing Ian Burns, unfortunately Ian Burns withdrew yesterday. So Jimmy White gets a walkover. He'll play Fan Zhengyi in the second round. Meanwhile, Deng caught just a slither of that red. It barely moved. Well, a proper standoff in this frame. And the match itself has been going now for an hour and a half. Still only in frame 3. It's not been a match of much fluency thus far. Pullen acknowledging the good safety there from Deng. But it's a really good return from Pullen. So it's some good safety being played. It's just a question of who's going to blink first here in this exchange. Again, he caught that far too thin, which is why the cue ball has finished adjacent to the blue. So this is a chance for Pullen if he can knock this initial red in and land on a colour. He's already 34 points ahead in the frame.
One.
Trusting to luck a little bit going into the red. You couldn't guarantee being on a colour. So the pink, he's playing the pot, is a bigger shot, which is why he's not playing it. You can understand that. Wait for a better chance. Well, if he's got away with this, he's been very lucky. Yeah, on another day, he leaves that red on. It's gone to balk. It is an open table, which certainly favours Deng. He's 35 behind. But you look at the colours, they're all off the spots, aren't they? So that just tells you, again, it's been quite a scrappy frame, really, in a scrappy match, let's be honest. Wow, he's completely miss-hit this. If he gets away with this, then maybe it's going to be his day. And again, you know, he could have easily have left something straightforward. But he's tying up colours, he's tied up the pink, the blue's tied up. And all this favours Pullen because he's got a 35-point lead. But I mean, the colours are not in great positions at all.
One.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pot, but as I say, it's not easy to get on a colour. Well, that's nicely done. So now the black back on its spot. This becomes a more realistic chance for Pullen. He's kept his discipline well, I think. Things have gone against him. He hasn't played particularly well, but he's stuck in there. He's shown resilience and fortitude, which, of course, in this sport is so important.
Nine.
Now it's about just staying around this black spot, picking these reds off. He's not going to need them all, of course. And the clearance would be a lot to ask if he did break down from Deng. And that black wiped its feet. A couple more reds needed
16.
to win his first frame of the day. Tell you, Zhang Jun has levelled up 2-2 at the interval with Panchaya Chinoy, so a 58 break there, his highest so far. They go to the break all square. This red then, and it should be 2-1. Just make sure of the black though. 2 snookers needed with the black. 2 to tie, 3 to win. Well, as I say, he's stuck in there today, Pullen. It's not been a free-flowing contest, but his head hasn't dropped and he's now on the scoreboard.
33. $40. 41. 48.
So 48 from Liam Pullen. Having made the early running in the frame, he is finally on the scoreboard. It's taken some doing, but he reduces Deng Haohui's lead to 2-1 with 1 frame to come before the mid-session interval. Ulian Boyko, one-way traffic in his match, 4-0 up on Phil O'Kane. Craig Steadman has gone 4-0 up on Liam Graham as well at their interval. Ross Muir 2-0 over Thanawat Tirapong Boon, and Muir comfortably in front in the next. As I mentioned, 2-2 Zhang Jun and Panchaya Chinoy. And in the 2 prelim matches, so there is matches in the round before this, Andrew Higginson 3-1 up on Oliver Sykes, and it's 2-1 Sean O'Sullivan over Jamie Clark. And actually on the blue there, O'Sullivan with a chance to go 3-1. Top 16, of course, their matches are held over to Shenzhen. But in that round, the last 64 round, the players ranked 17 to 32 will play their matches here on Wednesday. And in that round, Tepchara Nu is awaiting the winner of this match, and then whoever beats Tom Ford, or whether, whoever comes through the match with Tom Ford. Of course, it could be Tom, obviously.
Thank you, Frank, for Deng Haohui to break.
So Deng Haohui 2-1 up. After a bit of a slog, Leo Scullion off for a cup of tea, I think. And these 2 players will be enjoying one after this frame, of course, in their interval.
1.
Terrific pot from Pullen. Nice and clean, and now he's on the scoreboard, maybe just starting to feel more confident. Sort of marching around the table now, isn't he? Looking like he really fancies the job.
No.
Well, where's the pink going to go? That could scupper him. Obviously, it's going to go on its spot. But
15.
is it impeding this red to right middle? It would seem not. So, a very promising opening this. It started with a good red. She kept it going well. And it's a more conventional frame than the first three, where balls went awkward and there was a lot of safety. The question is, can Liam Pullen stay at the table?
Twenty-two.
Just to reiterate what I was saying earlier, at the end of his third season on tour, which was last season, he'd made 29 centuries. 20 were last season alone, so that suggests quite a big step forward in terms of scoring. He's made 4 this season, despite not qualifying for either of the 2 events. Meanwhile, 3-0 Rossmuir over Thanawat Tirapongpaiboon. And 2-2 Jamie Clark and Sean O'Sullivan.
Thirty-one.
Well, it was a very promising opening, but he's missed the blue on 31, so it's come to a somewhat premature end, that break.
One. Eight. Deng Haohui, 8.
Yeah, just didn't control the break as he intended, so back in his seat, 23 behind. Well, it's not been a speedy affair, this match. We'll see how long this frame is, but of course then there'll be a 15-minute interval, possible 5 frames to play. So if it does go close, they may actually struggle to complete it by 2:30. And then, of course, they'll have to come back this evening. First available table, that's how it works.
One.
Good red to get back in with. So, Pullen lost 2 close opening frames, but kept his composure. Won the 3rd, and this is his 2nd chance to win the 4th and make it 2-2 at the interval. It's very hard to play your best snooker all the time, of course. What you need to do is dig deep and not allow frustration to overwhelm you, and that's one of the great challenges, and not everybody, let's be honest, in the game is up to that, but Pullen seems to be a very tough character. Only 21 years of age, but we saw at the World Championship, he came through 4 qualifying rounds. 10-9 over Alfie Burden
16.
first round. He beat Amir Sarkosh. He beat Tepchira Nu. He beat Noppen Senkam. They were terrific wins. 4 best of 19s to qualify for the first time for the Crucible stage of the World Championship. So that toughness, again, in evidence here as he attempts to level up at the interval.
Twenty-four. 25.
53 the lead, 67 on, so red and a black here, and Deng Haohui would need snooker. It's not been a classic, but in some ways it's been a typical qualifying match, really. It's just about trying to get the frames on the board. As I say, Pullen's attitude has been very strong. And he's dug himself out of an early hole because it took about an hour and 10 minutes to play the first 2 frames, and of course he lost them both, but his head didn't drop.
38.
And he's looking now for a more positive second half of the match. The most important thing is he's got himself on level terms.
39. $45. 46.
So first half century on the match.
51. 52. 57. 58.
'Well, these are just good feelings to be going to the interval with, making a break like this.
62. 64. 67. 71. 76.
Remember, this is the event, the corresponding event where Liam Pullen beat John Higgins to qualify last year and reached the quarterfinals out in Xi'an. It's a different location, of course, Shenzhen, but he's hoping to make the trip.
82.
He's got to win 3 matches to do so. He was in trouble early on in the first of them.
89
But
in the frame.
He
Liam
goes
Pullen.
to the interval with a
Quarter
quality
past.
clearance of 89 to level
12:15. Upstairs, players' lounge.
2.
Okay? Upstairs.
The players will return in 15 minutes and we will be back, of course, for the rest of the match.
This is too high. I think it's way too high on the other side as well. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. And then this one doesn't have to. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you.
So the players are back after their break, and Liam Pullen
Frame 5.
is back in this.
Liam
He was
Pullen
2
to
0
break.
down to Deng Haohui, but it's now 2-2. Pullen with an 89 break, by far the highest of the match. To level up, let's see if he can press on now, or can Deng get going again. It was a very scrappy start to proceedings. First 2 frames are pretty lengthy, but as I mentioned before the interval, I thought Pullen, his attitude was good, and he's dug himself out of the initial hole by getting on level terms. Ulian Boyko, by the way, while we were at the interval, has beaten Phil O'Kane 5-0. And Andrew Higginson has beaten Oliver Sykes 5-1. Now that match, Higginson-Sykes, that was in the prelim round. So Higginson will play Gao Yang in the first round proper. But Boyko will play Stan Moody. That'll be tomorrow afternoon, so that could be a belter between 2 young talents. One from England, one from Ukraine. Oh, what a pot from Liam Pullen. That's all he's going to get for it, but in general, his performance has improved as the match has gone on.
Green ball. Liam Pullen 1.
Yeah, I think he's trying to use the green there just to open a few reds up, but didn't quite go to plan. This match best of 9, the winner plays Tom Ford in round 2, the last 96 round. Well, it's Deng now who needs to get going again, having lost that 2-frame lead, and this is a chance to do that. Zhang Jun peeps over the garden wall there. He's on table 2.
1.
Deng Haohui, first season professional, 23 years of age, qualified through the Asia Oceania Q School. There's 2 events in that. He came through the first of them, beat Amir Sarkosh of Iran in the final round. Of course, he had been a professional the last 2 years. Also the Asian amateur champion, beat Pankaj Advani in the final of that.
16.
One of 31 players from mainland China on the World Snooker Tour this season. That's a record. There's another 3 from Hong Kong as well.
17.
But he's a long way from his homeland, of course, here in Leicester, trying to make it through to the final stages. In that Q school, he made 3 centuries, so he scored quite well. The setup there, of course, the British Q school is here at the Mattioli Arena. The setup in Asia, they play in quite significant arenas. Seems kind of a bigger deal in terms of the setup. Oh, that wasn't a big deal, though. He's missed the red. Now, his logo came off as he played the shot. Maybe that did affect him. But that was a good score and chance that's come to a swift end. Pullen then, 89 he made in frame 4. And this is a good position to be in with the black available to pounce on that mistake. As I say, I don't know whether the logo does sometimes stick on the cue, and I guess it must have put Deng off because he missed the red by some distance.
Nine. Fourteen. Foul. Liam Pullen 14. Deng Haohui 5.
Well, he must have caught the blue there. Tatiana Wollaston on the case. No complaints from Pullen. Just must have flicked it. It's frustrating, though, because that was potentially the start of another frame-winning break.
One.
Deng's highest break, just 37 so far.
4.
I feel that'll have to improve to win the match. Well, that's a lovely shot. Albeit, he's finished awkward over the red for the black. So it was a nice split, but this still needs accurate cueing now. Again, Tatiana Wollaston keeping close watch. Well, he's knocked it in, and he is on a red to right middle. Just looking to get back in ideal position.
12.
And if he can, then this is really a good chance to go 3-2 in front. He's already 26 in front in the frame. Yeah, so that little bit of peril has been managed.
$50. $16.
So that foul, where Liam Pullen just caught the blue,
23.
has been significant here. These could have been his.
24.
Well, this red to
29.
left middle will leave Pullen requiring snookers.
$30.
The match has certainly speeded up. First 3 frames, particularly the first 2, were lengthy affairs.
$35. $36.
And now this is Deng's highest break of the match.
43. $44.
Of course, he is the product of the enormous investment there's been in China in snooker in the last 2 decades.
51.
And what inspiration to take from the last 2 world champions, Zhao Xingtong and Wu Yizhe.
Deng Haohui.
So
51.
he
And
did what he had to do there. 51, his highest break, Deng, of the match, to lead Liam Pullen 3-2. Remember, this is best of 9, first of 5 to reach round 2 of qualifying in the Shenzhen Open. So just to recap what's been going on, Julian Boyko's beaten Phil O'Kane 5-0. He'll play Stan Moody now in the next round. So Craig Steadman is a few balls away from beating Liam Graham 5-1. Snooker's required there. In the next frame, Zach Surety will be the opponent for Steadman in round 2. Ross Muir 4-0 up on Tanawat Tirapong Pai Boon at their interval. Big frame there, the second, which Muir won on the black, and since then Tirapong Pai Boon has not made much impact. Zhang Jun having a tough battle with the women's world champion Panchaya Chenoy, but Zhang is 3-2 up there now. And in that preliminary round, the round before this, Andrew Higginson has beaten Oliver Sykes 5-1. He'll play Gao Yang now in the first round. And Jamie Clark 4-2 up on Sean O'Sullivan. Now O'Sullivan there led 2-0, but Clark has won the next 4. Just a reminder, the winner of the match we're watching here between Pullen and Deng will play Tom Ford, with Tepcharan Nu awaiting in the 3rd round. It's the replacement for the Zhang Grand Prix, but it's a different qualifying setup. Last year it was a flat draw, everyone in the last 1 to 8. This is a tiered draw, so the players having to win more matches to qualify, but of course they're not playing the top 16 from round 1. Having said that, Liam Pullen last year beat John Higgins in round 1. Just to confirm, Craig Steadman has beaten Liam Graham 5 frames to 1. Oh, what a delightful pot that is from Liam Pullen. As I say, he's kept his positivity even early on in the match when nothing really was going right for him. His head never dropped, and it's so important, if you can do that, to give yourself the best chance and have that belief that things can turn round, belief in your own ability. He's got him with a great red. He told me when he was commentating on the Championship League, he's enjoyed his trips to China so far. He's looking to embrace going to new places and seeing new places, different culture. Ultimately, of course, they're going for the snooker, but it's a chance to see countries and cities that otherwise, you know, he probably never would have done. I think as you get older, travelling can become a little bit more difficult to cope with. Now trying to get into the reds. Didn't really get into the meat of the pack there. He's caught the pink, but he didn't really get, say, into the meat of the reds, and they've not really split.
Liam Pullen 10.
As I say, we have had a ranking event in Shenzhen before, the 2000 China Open. It's quite a sobering thought that neither of these two were actually born when that was played. It was won by Ronnie O'Sullivan. It was played, though, in a golf resort, so it was kind of away from the main part of Shenzhen. It's the Mission Hills Golf Resort, so it was a bit self-contained, as Deng knocks in a terrific red there. And more than one player was tempted out onto the golf course during the tournament, as I recall. Mark Williams certainly spent a lot of time there.
Six. Seven.
Maybe able to just disturb a few more here.
15.
Well, he's nudged another one into play, so makes such a difference with the big colours available. We saw in the early frames that quite quickly after the bout of safety, the black and the pink were getting tied up. It just made making breaks harder, but this is where players want to be. But that hasn't quite gone to plan. He's again trying to nudge a few out.
20.
And it's not worked.
Deng Haohui. 22.
Looks like Panchayat Shenoy is going to make it 3-3 with Zhang Jun. She's well in front in that sixth frame. Well, yeah, a little fortunate to finish in behind the green. To be fair, Deng had a couple of quite big flukes earlier on.
Spider. Long one.
adjust the pace of this because he doesn't want to overhit it. Well, he wants to hit the red first. He caught the knuckle of the middle pocket.
Pullen 4.
Doesn't look like he's left Pullen an easy starter, so back we go. Not going to reach.
Well, miss.
Now, will Pullen be tempted by this red? Deng is sort of standing there, not quite knowing whether Liam's going to play this shot or not. And in fact, he is going to play it, so Deng retreats to his seat. All the equipment goes back. Well, he's potted it, but the cue ball on the side cushion is not great. Makes this next shot tough, and of course, playing for a red, it makes it a must get. Well, that Panchaya Chennai frame, it looked to all the world like 3-3. Zhang Jun needed a couple of snookers. He actually got them, so he can now win that frame. He's 26 behind, 27 on, so big moments there.
Six.
Just looking at the score, and he seemed to get a load of foul points actually in that frame. Well,
Pullen 6.
in the end, that visit didn't come to much. Jamie Clark is going to beat Sean O'Sullivan 5-2. So from 2-0 down, Clark very impressive there. That's in the prelim round to get into this round.
One.
So Clark, if he has won, he'll play Alexander Ursenbacher. The reason for that is there's a couple of Chinese wildcards, but they're actually coming in round 3, so that they're at the venue. It's always been the case in China. The wildcards have had their place, but of course this format has changed. It used to be flat draw, now it's tiered. So it's a bit unfortunate for the players having to play the extra match.
9.
Now this is a big visit for Deng Haohui because, of course, he was 2-0 up, went 2 each. This is a chance to get his 2-frame lead back and really put pressure on Pullen. Who has not made a good start to the season, really. And if he loses this match, of course, he gets no ranking points.
16.
So he'd certainly be under it if he was 4-2 down.
Blue ball. 22. Deng Haohui, 22.
Yeah, it seemed a very risky shot from Pullen, but he covered the red with the black. So this sixth frame, very much in the balance, and everything's potable, so the 20-point difference might not really come to much if Pullen could get in at some point. It looked a bit wild. It was one of those where he was sat down long before the red stopped running. But again, could have finished a lot worse for Deng. Well, is Deng going to take the red onto right corner? Chance to get back in. Not playing it. Well, Panchayat Shenoy will be relieved. She did win that sixth frame, so it is 3-3 with Zhang Jun, despite all the snookers he got.
One.
So Deng 20 in front as he comes to the table, and the red's in lovely spots to take a 4-2 lead.
Six. Seven.
Jamie Clark's break in the last from 83 to beat Sean O'Sullivan 5-2. Now Deng 32 in front, a couple more reds needed here. Ooh, but he's missed that one. That was a really good chance. It's been fortunate
Deng
that
Haohui,
red
12.
that he's missed has run safe. But I'm sure Pullen delighted that he's missed it. Terrific shot. Just caught the pink though. You saw the head come down. Now, could still take the yellow here. It's not the red safe, which doesn't help him, but it was a really good part. He's on the front foot. It looks like he's taking this yellow. That's disappointing after such a good red. So 31 in front. Deng, as long as he takes a big colour off this red, doesn't need the safe one. So anything brown, blue, pink or black, any of those four will be enough with this red to leave Pullen needing a snooker.
One.
And it's going to be the black, you would think. Such a good red from Pullen, but missed the yellow immediately afterwards. And looks like it's going to be costly. Deng trying to bring the red out, but as I say, Pullen needs a snooker here. 39.
8.
The difference, 35 on, so 1 to tie, 2 to win.
Deng Haohui, 8.
Well, if he doesn't get them, Pullen's going to have to win the last 3 frames. Otherwise, it's a disappointing first-round exit in the Shenzhen Open. Of course, China has become such an important destination on the World Snooker Tour. A lot of lucrative events there. The first of them is next week. The Shanghai Masters begins a week tomorrow. An invitation event for the top 16. The next 4 highest ranked Chinese players and 4 Chinese wildcards. Karen Wilson will be defending the title. And then the China Open returns in early August, August the 8th. Wuhan Open, August the 23rd. This Shenzhen Open, back end of September, early October. The International Championship, end of October, early November. The World Grand Prix in Hong Kong in February. And then next March, the World Open in Yushan. Well, the double kiss has left the red on, and if it goes in, it's Deng's frame for sure, and it's 4-2 to him.
One.
That shouldn't make any difference. The frame is his, and Liam Pullen with a lot to think about here because he did so well to recover from 2-0 down to 2-2, but since the interval hasn't pressed on, And Deng Haohui leads 4-2, needing one more frame to take on Tom Ford in the last 96, the second round of this Shenzhen Open qualifying event. A reminder, it's an 8-day set of qualifiers, so we've got 4 days of the Shenzhen Open. We're back with you for 2 days of the British Open. Now, of course, that's a wide open draw, so some very interesting matches to come to on Thursday and Friday. And then next Saturday and Sunday, it will be the preliminary rounds of the English Open. All played here at the Mattioli Arena in Leicester. Jimmy White got a walkover because Ian Burns unfortunately had to withdraw, so White will play Fang Zhengyi in round 2. We've had victory for Ulian Boyko, 5-0 over Phil O'Kane, and Craig Steadman, 5-1 over Liam Graham. In the preliminary round, so the round before this, we had a 5-1 victory for Andrew Higginson over Oliver Sykes. Jamie Clark beat Sean O'Sullivan 5-2. And right now, the remaining 2 matches, one is one-sided, the other anything but. Ross Muir 4-1 up on Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon, who at least to the tie there has won his first frame. And it's 3-3, Zhang Jun and Panchaya Chinoy. You can see Panchaya there at the table. She had a bit of a baptism of fire coming onto the tour, playing those 2 qualifiers, only a few weeks after she won the Women's World Championship. But maybe now just starting to find her feet. That would be a great win if she could come through. We'll see, but could be the start of something for her this season. The winner will play Robbie Williams there. The winner of the Ross Muir Tirapong Paiboon match plays Michael Holt. This afternoon, 2:30, match on table 1, Michal Shabarczyk, the 15-year-old from Poland, against China's Gong Chengzi. Of course, got his place back through Q School this season, having dropped off at the end of last season. And then tonight, Dylan Emery, 7 o'clock. Now, Dylan Emery got to the last day of the Championship League just last week, so he is in good form, and he's up against the twice Women's World Champion, Baiyu Liu. Just looking ahead to the next round, as I say, the standout tie already looks like Stan Moody against Ulian Boyko. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. Could be an all-Belgian match. Luca Brissell seeded through. Julian Leclerc needs to beat Leon Crowley to set that one up. Now, Yao Peng Cheng, of course, he had a great time in the early qualifiers. If he beats Mitchell Mann, he'll play Aaron Hill. Chang Bing-yu, of course, a player who I know a lot of people are quite understandably excited about this season. He will play the Chachapong Nasser or Sahil Nair. Mark Williams seeded number 1, and he will play Fang Zhengyi or Jimmy White, and that will be in Shenzhen itself. Just waiting for the 2 players to return. Of course, there's plenty of tickets on sale for events on the World Snooker Tour. You can check that out, wst.tv/tickets, if you want to come along to any of the tournaments coming up. There's plenty to look forward to. But Liam Pullen right now is hoping there's plenty more of this match to look forward to. He's 4-2 down, so he's in trouble. Just to say, Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon, he made a 97 break there. He was 4-0 down, doing nothing against Ross Muir, but you never know in this game. Things can turn around often quite quickly. I do feel Deng has got away with a couple. That's another example there. Doesn't seem to have left anything on. While he's playing the plant. That's nicely done. So I guess you could say Deng didn't get away with it. Now then, Liam Pullen made that 89 break in frame 4. Otherwise, he struggled really to sort sort of set the heather on fire when it comes to break building, but that really needs to change soon. It's been quite a frustrating morning, but there's still a chance, of course, to turn this around. Well, he's trying to get into the reds and has missed them. So it's already gone wrong. Could play this red. It's tough along the baulk cushion. I think having, of course, got to the Crucible and ended the season on a high with that terrific qualifying run, I'm sure that Liam himself has increased the expectations going forward, and there'll be other people putting them on him also. So he's got to try and deal with all that at the age of 21.
Liam Pullen 8.
Yeah, it was a tough red that, but as I say, he was trying to get into the reds off the previous shot and didn't.
One. Deng Haohui 1.
Didn't really get close to the pot. He was focusing a lot on trying to break the reds, which he did, but didn't pot the black, and he's left this red on to right middle.
One.
Ashley Hugel there in the audience, just keeping an eye on proceedings.
Six.
Of course, Hugel got his place back through the Q Tour global playoffs. He'll be in action at 2:30 against China's Zhao Hanyang.
Seven.
Well, it's similar in a way to
Liam
Deng.
Pullen 7.
Pullen is concentrating on getting the reds open and hasn't potted the black. Different sort of shot, but same principle. And again, he has opened them. And so Deng can negotiate this initial shot. It's a chance to get the match won where the reds are. Not to be, though. Well, Liam Pullen will know he's really got to make this chance pay now because he's running out of time a bit. And this is a good chance where the reds are to pull one back. Make Deng think about that last chance that he had. These qualifiers, so often it's not actually about the performance. It really is about just trying to get the results on the board, save your best snooker for if you actually qualify, because you're guaranteed to be playing a top player. So much of it is about just trying to slog your way through. That's what Pullen did in the World Qualifiers, although I thought he played some terrific snooker along the way, but he also won his fair share of frames where, you know, they weren't that memorable. He was just getting frames on the board. But this is a chance to score now. Oh dear, and he's missed. Well, concerning times, I think, for Liam Pullen now, because he had a golden chance there and it came to very little. And his challenge in this match is now fizzling out.
One. Six. Seven.
Well, Deng with the black back on its spot. Can't really ask for much of a better chance to get the match won now.
14.
But we've seen all sorts of mistakes today, so it's by no means guaranteed. But he's not got that much work to do. The balls have been developed already. So it's about just trying to keep this cue ball under control. Of course, it's all brand new to him. This level of snooker, it's his first year on the World Snooker Tour because got a guaranteed 2-year card. So just trying to gain experience in that first year. And he'll discover the kind of level he'll need to get to if he's going to have a sustained professional career. Pullen will be concerned for sure.
29. 30. 35. 36.
Well, he's sort of quite tentative here, I think. Maybe a few nerves are present, which is understandable. But the fact is the balls are going in the pockets.
43. 44. 51.
So, 30 points the lead. red, blue, pink and black, and Pullen needs a snooker. And he had a really good chance. I'm sure he would accept that in this frame. But barring snookers, this pink is match ball for Deng Haohui of China. Oh, and he's missed it. Wow. Wow, and Liam Pullen, I'm sure, was getting ready to potentially play on for snookers, but certainly was expecting that pink to go in. But as it is, a lifeline has been thrown his way. 31 the difference, still 35 on. Well, incredible. How close can you get to this yellow, though, off the pink? It doesn't look like a great angle. But the very fact that he's back at the table, I think, will inspire him here. How close can he get to this yellow? Well,
7.
He's still on it, so this is the shot, really. If he can knock this in, get on the green, it's looking like we're going into frame 8. Deng's missed match ball.
9.
What a reprieve for Liam Pullen. And if he does clear these, then Deng is facing quite a significant mental challenge to regroup when the match looked done. Just overrun here, so he'll have to take the cue ball in and out of baulk for the pink. Just a bit further to travel than he would have liked. Pink and black for a real steal for the Englishman. It was the pink
27.
that Deng missed for the match. Liam Pullen has stepped in. With a really steely clearance. He looked unburied, but the lifeline was thrown and he's made the most of it, and this match not over. Deng's lead cut to 4-3. Well, it's taken a while this match to come alive, but that was very dramatic, and Liam Pullen absolutely delighted, I'm sure.
Just here. No, just
He's off looking for some water or something.
Anyway, I knew you might need one.
Anyway, yeah, well, there you go. He's found a bottle of water, and he found his bottle when he needed it to make that clearance. Oh, so, not over yet. Rossmuir 4-1 up on Thanawat Tirupong Paiboon, and it's still 3-3 Zhang Jun and Panchaya Chernoi. Those matches still going. Well, it seems he's actually got a bottle of water by his table, so he's returned that other one. But as I say, how is Deng feeling after that? Because he really should have won there. So it's 4-3. It really should have been
Deng
5-2
Haohui to
though.
break.
And Deng has got to get over what happened and try and clear his mind for frame 8. Won't be easy. As I say, it's kind of all new to him as well. First season on tour. There'll be so many of these blows you've got to try and absorb along the way, of course. But not a good break-off. And he's been fortunate there. He's covered the red to right middle. But it's just luck, really.
One.
Well, he's in immediately. As I say, fortunate to cover the red off the break-off. But let's see if he can just find an even keel here and put the disappointment of failing to win 5-2 out of his mind.
Five. Six.
Well, he could have been better on the blue, but
Deng
you've got to
Haohui,
think
6.
that he was affected by that missed pink in the last frame. It was match ball barring snookers. And I'm sure Liam Pullen now will be sensing that his opponent is struggling, and in a wider sense, reckoning he's got a chance now in this match. Yeah, nice
One.
cannon to stay on the black. Oh, but not in.
And one.
Not in. That's a reprieve for Deng. It's got a bit edgy. Just to remind you, there's still 2 of the matches on. Rossmuir 4-1 up on Thanawat Tirapong Paibun. And Zhang Jun 3-3 with Panchaya Chanoi. Zhang is in front in the next. Snooker's needed, so it's looking like 4-3. But he's had a real battle there with the Women's World Champion. And that's exactly what this match has turned into as well, a real old scrap. Yeah, they're both some edgy now. Deng because he's missed a chance to win already, and Liam Pullen, I think, because he senses his opponent is struggling and he's almost too kind of concerned with taking advantage. It's made him edgy, oddly. Who's going to relax first? Deng's in. Again, it's a good table. Black back on the spot after this shot. Quite a few reds available, so, you know, you'd say it's a good chance, but let's see. Zhang Jun has gone 4-3 up on Panchai Chennai.
8. No. 16. 17.
Well, is he on the red to middle? If not, that's not great. Still this one to right
24.
corner, but he's not exactly got the cue ball on a piece of string here. He's had a good look at that one, but doesn't look like it's on. So getting the rest out. Of course, this was the pocket he missed the pink into in the last frame, which was effectively for the match. Bit mindful of that red under his waistcoat, as indeed is Tatiana Wollaston. I say waistcoat, he's actually taken it off. He's just wearing a shirt. The players have been told they can play in shirts without bow ties because of the heat. Of course, some players have the logos on the waistcoat, so maybe that's why Liam Pullen is wearing his. Doesn't help the blue being off its spot here.
25.
He's caught that red and he's not really on anything. So it's become hard work now in a match that really should have been over.
Brown ball. Deng Haohui. 25.
dear me. That has gone badly wrong. About as bad as it could have gone. Deng, sort of in disbelief, can't quite leave the table. He's going to have to. So 30 points in it.
One. Five.
Oh dear. Not on the pink. He turns away in abject horror. All the other colours down the other end. End of break. Gets on the pink there. What a chance.
Blue ball. Liam Pullen, 6.
But he kept his discipline, looked to play good safety. Hasn't covered this red on the right-hand side, though. Perilously close to the red on the top cushion, but it's okay. He's played it well. Well, where the reds are, Deng 24 in front. Potentially now looking for just one more chance, although, of course, he's already spurned one to win the match in the last frame. Does he want to turn this over? Well, he hasn't, but there's a red to left middle, so again he sits down concernedly in Pullen that he might not be getting up again. Until it's time to shake hands, that is. Let's see, though, how Deng's feeling, because he's gone through the mill a bit the last 20 minutes or so.
One.
Got to say, it's a good chance, this. To make right what went wrong in frame 7.
Five. Six.
Well, 36 in front, and with the pink on its spot. Not a lot more to do here. A couple of reds with pinks should be sufficient.
13.
It's been a frustrating start to the season for Liam Pullen, and it looks set to continue despite the good clearance he made in the last frame to extend the match. He was a bit unlucky, I think, in this frame when he didn't get on the pink.
19.
We're here again, same pocket as last frame. This is match ball for Deng Haohui. No mistake this time.
20.
And he'll be looking to pop the pink as well. Then it'll be a couple of snookers needed. Should be on the next red also. So it looks like Deng will be taking on Leicester's own Tom Ford here at the Mattioli Arena
26.
in round 2 of qualifying for the Shenzhen Open. It's a match that took a bit of time to get going. It's had its moments of drama though, but Deng ultimately has put to one side his failure to wrap it up 5-2 and he's going to win 5-3. Pullen will have to hope for better things in the British Open qualifiers, which start on Thursday. Just one match to win to get to Cheltenham. He plays Daniel Wells. That won't be easy. Daniel beat him in the Jean Grand Prix quarterfinals last year.
42. You
can sort of see the relief here from Deng Haohui, having failed to win 5-2.
49.
Spared the agony of a deciding frame finish. In the end, he's made his highest break of the match in the last frame. 54 from Deng Haohui. He defeats Liam Pullen by 5 frames to 3 and advances to the second round of qualifying for the Shenzhen Open. Yeah, he's got Tom Ford here in Leicester in round 2. Liam Pullen, as I say, will be back for the British Open on Thursday. Still 2 matches ongoing. Ross Muir 4-2 up on Thanawat Tirapompai Boon. Zhang Jun 4-3 over Panchaya Chanoy. But here on table 1, we've got about an hour's break. And at 2:30, it'll be Michal Sabacek against Gong Chengzi. Do join us for that. Michael Day will be on commentary duties, so do join him at 2:30. But for me, for now, it's goodbye.